Live.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arusta, and my co-commentator today is Mocha Jones 10. We will be watching the Skewed by 6 Cubed against the Longshots, DJDarkwingD versus Timp. This is the second game between these two teams this week on the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 3. Mocha, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. How's it going, Arusta?
It is going really good. This should be a pretty good race between these two teams. The one, I believe it was yesterday, between Tyler Salt and I believe it was Aranon. They were Spyweaver. I apologize. They were very, very close. It came down to some late Ganon falls, so I expect this to be a close race as well.
Yes, I expect this to be pretty close. Fun fact about these two racers, DJ Darkwing was in the Mentor tournament that Timp with the Go Mode podcast put on this past summer. Actually won one of the brackets. So this is going to be really interesting to see just how much he's powered up this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. And Timp is, of course, best known for, as you mentioned, the Go Mode podcast, being one of the hosts of that. Been around the rando community for several years. I mean, both very good runners. Should be a very close race. We'll be off in about 20 seconds, it looks like. This is the week 2. If anybody hasn't seen week 2 yet, this is pretty much your normal open seed. 7-7, defeat Ganon. Items can be anywhere. Nothing unique like Enemizer or Key Sanity. Pretty much the vanilla stuff that vanilla in terms of rando.
So I always have one question. Where are these runners starting today?
I don't know, but we're about 10 minutes, so we'll find out. Looks like Timp is starting at Sanctuary. And DJ is starting at Link's house, so there's going to be divergence right up front.
And there's a hook shot for Timp. Oh my word. So Sank route's coming out pretty good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing, especially with Quick Swap, that's going to be nice for Timp is he'll be able to use it to move a little faster through these initial screens here.
Oh yeah. Timp just going through here like Spider-Man right now. And there's a tier 1 with 20 rupees. That's a nice drop right there.
Absolutely. And the full magic was nice too as well on Timp's side.
Well, to be countered by Darkwing's half magic there.
And a red potion, so that's, even though DJ is not going to have hookshot quite as quickly as Timp, I'm sure he's going there right now, that red potion will allow him to route in an extra check in Kakariko. We'll see if that ends up paying off big for him.
Yes, and now Darkwing's got a hookshot. Mistball was on the Lumberjack ledge, but I don't know if Darkwing's going to go up and see it, but I did not get a good look of it. As Timp picks up 300 in Lost Woods.
Yeah, it looks like DJ is going to skip it.
And Timp saving and quitting out. Not heading to CAC.
That's an interesting play. Looks like he might be trying to go the south route and just see if he can get bombs rather than having to go south, farm, to buy them, and then go north again to finish it off.
Yeah, I agree with this. Just cause you do have a 50-50 shot with those bombs, and if you get one, just go to the bomb house and get 4 more bombs. And as Timp is doing, it looks like right now.
Yeah, and we're about to see race game as well. Which is just garbage, 20 rupees. Definitely not going for that. And to answer a question in chat from Cool Papa Bell, the sprite Timp is using is the Astronaut, which was added in one of the V31 patches fairly recently. Maybe like, I want to say sometime over the summer. Pay attention when he gets a crystal. It's got a nice animation there as well.
We see Darkwing go ahead and cash in that bottle. For another bottle.
And Timp picking up a bottle himself, so looks like they're going to have plenty of bottles.
Now the question is, what bees are in those bottles? Are they the good bees or the not so good bees? Because you can turn those good bees into cash.
So one thing I'm seeing here, one little divergence there, is it looks like DJ is stopping to buy bombs while Timp is going to the hut. I kind of like DJ's strategy there a little more, just because even though you save yourself 50 rupees, it's early enough in the seed, you should be able to find Zora money somewhere.
Oh yeah, and they've already gotten a 300 and a 50, and the tier 1 is 20 rupees, so it's already a pretty rich seed.
Spend $100 on a piece of heart there.
I was gonna say, CAC is not looking stacked right now. We'll see if that changes when we get into Blonde's hut and into the well. And it looks like nobody really had to buy bombs because there they were. As we also get a melt upgrade here.
Yeah, and that's, even though both runners are good enough, they can handle a lot of situations. Mail upgrades are something you're always happy to see.
Oh yeah, a better defense is not dying, so you can do more offense.
Oh, and there is a glove.
And there's a bow. Now we just need in Quake. Okay, I take that back. Maybe CAC is just a little stacked today.
Yeah, really, the well is what's stacked.
So I'm still waiting to see a map check from these guys. Just so we can know if we can go wonder if one of them would head on to Eastern if it is a crystal. And there it is. Red crystal at Desert, crystal at Eastern, and looked like a pendant at Hera. I did not see what pendant it was, but
it was one of the garbage pendants at Hera.
So I repeat, I wonder if one of them would head to Eastern and just go ahead and clear it out.
I mean, that would make sense, but it looks like Timp saving and quitting to Sank, so I assume he's going to check back with Escape and maybe figure it out from there. Which is 3 quick checks, makes a lot of sense to do it pretty early.
Yeah, I agree. It is a quick check, save and quit, and you don't lose that much time. Next we have Darkwing heading to the south. And just some red items in the back of Escape. That's not Canis and Maria.
Yeah, and switching to that hook shot, looks like Timp is going to do the South Shore checks here.
Yeah, Darkwing's sadly missing the clip to get the chest and just go in and out once here. So fun fact about those push blocks, whenever you push it, it disappears for while it's being pushed, and you can actually hook shot through it. That's so fun.
Yeah, like we just saw on Timp's side there.
Yeah, we have a mushroom outside. That dam was growing some fungus there.
Yeah, and so the interesting thing here will be to see just how far they want to play this out. With those flippers, you know, all the water checks are in play, and if you're heading this way, you're probably going to do them, but do you go all the way to Ice Rod Cave, or do you just leave that one check? Because that's quite a walk for just one item.
I think if they get boots, or if they get the flute, they might go ahead and head there. But we do have a sword, which makes that Eastern play just a little bit more tempting. in my opinion.
Especially since neither runner has lamp, which is logically required for part of it, some kind of fire source. Both runners probably know it, but with only a few hearts, having a sword makes it a lot easier to track where you're at.
Yeah, I've seen many a runner, even though that dark room is easy, have been felled by both of those dark rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does look like both runners are going to play this out to Ice Rod Cave.
I mean, we are already in the area, so and you just have to jump down to the waterfall, jump down, and hit your flippers check. So it's not that bad a play. And it looks like Darkwing's hitting the rock to get 20 rupees in here to get his Dora money.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like that play, even though he needed 30 rupees, so it's more than just one red. And it's really one of those things, I think, you don't want to get all the way there and realize you're like 10 rupees short.
Yeah, and I have a question in chat. Have we seen the stun prize? I do not believe so.
No, because they just got, they've had hookshot for a while, but they just got sword like an actual weapon in the recent chest, so neither of them have checked it yet.
Now here's going to be a question. Do we see a save scum? Since we have the mushroom, are we going to see these runners save and quit, turn in the mushroom, and if it's nothing, just reset so that way save the mushroom for fake powder?
Maybe, but I think that's one of those things I would probably put off for, like, if you're going to check it, but that's nice to do only after a normal save and quit. You don't want to eat a save and quit, walk all the way there just for that.
Very true.
Until you get flute, at least, when it's, just a short thing.
So as we see these runners on the heels of each other, go ahead and give these runners a follow. Darkwing and Timp, two amazing people that I've gotten to know in recent weeks, or one a little bit longer.
Oh, and there is Fire Rod. That is a nice find.
Fire Rod in our fourth bottle.
And one thing, if you saw the fairy there mocking Darkwing, you have to empty the bottles in order to get the free refill.
Yeah, I would have let go one of those bees, personally.
Yeah, I mean, with quick swap, it's pretty easy to do. Actually, the ideal thing would have been as they were swimming over there, though. That requires hand gymnastics. Just to select the bottle, you let it go right as you enter. And then I would have at least tried to see, because especially this early, like having a, if it's free blues or something, that's a nice safety to have for the rest of the seed.
Oh, we have a plastic shield for 500 rupees. Oh my, that's got to be like a fancy shield.
Yeah, one thing to note is that since both of them do have Fire Rod now, that back of Eastern is in logic. The front where you circle around to the big key chest is actually not because of the torch, but that's generally considered the easiest dark room in the game, and I'm sure both runners can probably do it pretty easily with the sword. And
yeah, plus if you get in the pinch, you do have blue mail, so it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in that back, it might still, especially with quick swap, it might still be worth at least quick swapping over to check that, to make it a little easier on yourself to kill the Popos and the Igor. But yeah, I don't expect any trouble.
And we don't have to worry about dark rooms right now because Sahasula has the lamp in his closet.
Yeah, so I like the play here by both runners with Lamp and Fire Rod super early. And it's a crystal, you know you have to do it. Eastern Palace does seem very heavily hinted at just by what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm still surprised no one's checked for their stun prods yet. Hopefully we'll see it soon.
I think that might just be that, you know, right now, no one's in a spot where they've really needed any sort of resources. And these runners are basically at the exact same spot right here.
I was gonna say the sink right now.
Yeah, really the only difference here is that DJ Darkwing has done Uncle's Passage and Timp has done Back of Escape.
I wonder if Timp will eventually get over there. If not, Darkwing's got that half magic advantage. Which if we don't find silvers and Timp doesn't get over there, that magic is going to be pretty needed.
Yeah, I mean, they've got, you know, the billion bottles to buy blue potions, but that does cost you time.
Oh my word. If the sprites weren't different, it's like the sink is real here.
Looks like we accidentally saw the stun prize and it's 5 arrows.
We're not going to be seeing that anymore, probably intentionally.
No, I'm pretty sure the only reason Tempe even showed it off was because he picked up the pot to get the key, and the Popo just happened to be standing there. I mean, both runners, not only are they synced up location-wise, they have they're both on 3 hearts, 10 bombs, 30 rupees, or excuse me, 30 arrows, and 51 versus 52 rupees.
Yeah, and there is an item on Armos Knights, if I'm counting my items correctly.
Yep, and here we'll be able to see who does the stair lag correctly. Looked like Timp got a little bit of the stair lag there.
Darkwing getting cut off by all those cannonballs. Even picking up the same pot. Oh, nice quick kill on Darkwing's side as Timp gets a little slipped up but they both take down Armos no problem. And getting triple bombs for their troubles, and more importantly, their first crystal of the game.
Yeah, and just the astronaut sprite, the astronaut sprite. I think hope you all see it on the side. The planting the flag.
That's great.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
So, mountain climb? Anyone? Because I think that's what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah, looks like that's what Timp's about to do, because nothing else is unlocked. Yep.
Yeah, I believe Darkwing's gonna get the back of escape check and then probably do the same thing. Unless he surprises me and goes towards the front of escape.
With the key here,
so-
he can just continue, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. Apparently, the tier 2 tree pole is
That's
with
Nate Pack
32 bombs total.
You need so many bomb upgrades to get that. Yeah, $20 for Darkwing going in the dark end. What's that? $100 from the old man.
Yeah, that Darkwing immediately saving and quitting to Link's house and saving and quitting again. I guess he's probably going to go to the mountain here.
Density of checks, that would be the better play. That I completely agree with.
Yeah, I would guess the save and quit to Link's house is probably just to run to do front of escape first, but then changing his mind.
I believe Darkwing is heading to see if Aga is required for the item in Lumberjack, and looks like it's just a piece of heart.
Yeah, that was the bottom of the piece of heart, so we will not be seeing Agate today. Unless, you know, they get a second sword before they get their hammer/mitts.
Or cape. Oh, and there's our hammer. We're just a moon pearl away, peeps. A moon pearl away.
And the book up there as well, which puts the does put all of Desert Palace in play with that glove and fire source.
Yes, and we can also see Timp head to Hera. Even though it is a pendant, we can go and see what that ether tablet holds and hope that we find 2 items in the front.
That looks like that's what he's going to do. Which I think makes a lot of sense. You get some pretty quick checks for the front, and then you can bounce back as well to do Spiral Cave afterwards.
And it looks like ether tablet is not required today. That's something I bet our runners will love to see.
Yeah, especially with being able to get over here. You know, already having the book when you get here is very nice, because that's a check you can very easily isolate.
We have a big key in the cage here, so if we don't find the small key, we see a Hera pot.
I really think, well, there's one item, so I think I would probably play this out. Looks like Timp's going the old way rather than Harapop, but either way, I think I would play this out.
I mean, we just have to find one more item, and hopefully it's not on in the basement. Because if it is, I don't see our runners going back there.
Yeah, some rage slashes there by DJ about missing that bomb jump.
And there it is. There's our second item.
Yeah, looks like Timp's just bailing out.
Personally, do not blame him.
No, I agree that there's a 1 in 216 chance it might hurt. You only have, I mean, they do have Hammer, so like it's not that terrible of a Moldorm fight, though Hammer Moldorm is great.
So unless Titansmiths are in Spiral Cave, I see them saving and quitting after this. And it's just $5. So save and quit. So where do they go? Do they head on the desert, finish that? Do they go to try and get to Zelda's cell? What would it be the play?
I think for Timp, I'd probably do Zelda's cell because Timp has not even touched. Timp has the key, so he knows. There's the map out there, but he also knows he can get to Dark Cross, and he hasn't touched the Uncle checks here either. So this is the density play here.
As we see, Darkwing trying to get that Harapot. And not having boots, it's just a little bit harder. Because you get... So he's going to bail on that and head on up. Plus with one heart, it kind of makes it a little bit hard.
Yeah, I think it's hard to watch someone else's glitches and say where it wasn't going right, but I think he was a little off on the initial setup rather than the final step. It looked like he was just a little, like 1 pixel off when he kept starting it the first time.
Yeah. Harapot is one of those pixel perfect or near pixel perfect glitches that you have to get exactly right. In which I'm like, I'm just gonna do the 5 boots, I'm gonna do hook speed and go. But our runners do not have boots right now.
Yeah, I mean, even without the hook speed, there's actually a setup where you can bonk off the first set of whatever they're called, crystal thingies, and it puts you on the exact right pixel to drop the bomb.
Alright, Darkwing's about to become just a little bit richer in Spiral Cave as we have Timp heading towards Zelda's cell, going to Boomerang Chest, if I'm not mistaken what this one's called.
Yeah, that's the Boomerang Chest. And it'll be the interesting thing here is what Darkwing decides to do. Because for Timp, like still having those 2 items in the Uncle, it's a clear item density play. For Darkwing, actually, there's 3 items in the front. He's already been to Dark Cross. And then so he's basically going for 3 items, one of which he knows is a map. So 2 items. Versus if he goes to Desert, you can get at least 3 items. Ledge, and then potentially the 2 from the Crystal. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Darkwing continue to put off escape here.
Yeah, we do see that. And Timp getting help to the front by this guard here.
Yeah, but that front of escape play did not pay off for him.
No, it did not, and that is right now coming in handy for Darkwing as he's heading towards Akina and to Desert, which is full clearable by them.
Yeah, and it is a crystal, so I like this play.
So we're still looking for Moon Pearl for Dark World access to be complete. If we don't find it here, are we seeing Aga today? If we find the cape or another sword?
I would definitely, I mean, that would be a play that, you know, even if you've got a couple scattered checks, no one's turned in that mushroom, for example. I mean, at this point, it would be looking Aga if you don't find it here.
And Tim, getting the bad news that it's just $20 in Dark Cross.
Yeah, and that's time that I don't know if he'll make back later, because unless Darkwing really gets stuck somewhere, Escape, since it's available so early, is one of those checks that if you don't do it early, often runners will say, you know what, if it's something critical, I've lost, you know, I'm already in a bad spot, I'm going to keep putting it off and keep putting it off.
Yes, there's nothing on the desert ledge, so we have Darkwing doing a little spin action there, heading into desert, as that is also where Timp is heading right now. So we're again going to be in the same dungeon.
So there's the big key. It is worth noting that neither runner has boots right now, so it's possible they can't get very far in here.
And it's just going to be that.
Yeah, I mean, you can still play it out to Landmos if you get the key from the back and like just go straight back. Or you could steal the key and put off Landmos. Or you could just find Pearl and forget both of those ideas.
I can still see Darkwing going ahead and beating this dungeon while we're here. So go ahead and get that crystal. But yeah, that's a Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and we have Dark World access about 30 minutes in. And yeah,
Not
I think
bad.
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for Darkwing to go back and finish Landmos. He's already, you know, he already knows he's got one of the items. So he's got basically a 1/3 chance that the other item is here on Landmos anyways, and he never needs that small key. Even if he does, he's only leaving one item behind in exchange for a crystal. So
I'd definitely say that this is the better play than to have to come back here. Especially since you don't know if Meyer is a crystal or not.
So let's see how practiced they are on either their hammer Landmos or their or if they're going to use Fire Rod.
They both have half magic, so Fire Rod Lambo is not out the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I would definitely not want to put it off. Since they have Fire Rod, that helps a lot. Hammer Landmos can be tricky, and arrows, basically NMG strats, can be kind of iffy as well. But Fire Rod, especially with half magic, you can just sort of spam it.
Darkwing almost getting a poke on that last hit, and we're not coming back to Desert cause there's $50. So we're going to have 2 crystals, not having to come back to Desert, and now we're going to head into the Dark World.
Yeah, and basically there's 2 options here with Hammer and Glove. You can start at Link's house and go immediately to Hype Cave, or you can start sort of at the North Checks, which is what Darkwing says, sort of go in near Skull Woods.
Honestly, here, it is a preference. I can see starting here and going south, get more checks, than starting out south and coming up. Especially since we don't have Titan Smiths yet, even though we do have Hookshot.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually asked several times a bunch of top tier runners where they stand on it, and gotten all sorts of different answers. There are a lot of people who would say, like someone like Karnith just said in chat, where you go with hammer and bow, you start at hype cave and go up to pod because, you know, you can clear pod, especially with lamp. It's probably a crystal, and it is. Green pendant on TR, red pendant on Mire, red crystal at swamp.
Oh, yeah. So we are technically a mirror away from being able to go to Waterfall Fairy.
Yeah, but in terms of items, we still need quite a few items. We need Ice Rod, Mirror, Mitts, of course, Samaria, and there's a 2/3 chance we need a medallion.
Yeah, so Darkwing heading here into Skull Woods is full clearable because we have Fire Rod.
Yeah, and I mean, once you see it's a crystal when you do it, I mean, I think that makes sense. You go ahead and full clear it. It's never going to really get any easier, especially since they've got blue mail and half magic, so you can spam magic from off.
And Darkwing getting the big key in the pinball room.
Very nice bomb jump there. That is actually, for those of you who are new to the game, that's actually one of the easier ones to learn. It's surprisingly forgiving for a bomb jump. And if you have boots, you can actually make it even more forgiving, because if you drop the bomb, dash, and then you're still in midair when the bomb goes off, you actually get a full 6 pixel window vertically. I like Timp's strategy here, going straight to the back.
I was going to say, a divergence of path, I personally would play it this way. Just go ahead and head straight to the back and work my way forward. Because if I can just beat Moth in the second item, both items are back here, I'm not checking anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the general theory, which is something that, you know, I've been taught from a bunch of people about it, is you always want to do things that you know you have to do before doing things that you might have to do. In this case, since it's a crystal, you know you're killing Moth at some point. You might as well do that first and save yourself. Potentially, if both items were back here, you could save yourself the entire front. I do believe Darkwing found both items in the one was in that center chest, and then one was in the front. So it's not going to work out in this particular case, but just as a general play.
As both of our runners heading to fight Fighter, Sword, Moth. Luckily, they have half Fire Rod and half Magic, but still, Fighter, Sword, Moth.
They also both still have that red potion that they picked up, so they do have a safety that might bail them out if needed.
I am curious, since I brought this up earlier in the seed, which kind of bees they have. Because if they have the golden bee, that's going to really help if they, for some reason, run out of Fire Rod shots. Timp having to go to hammer strats, but get some Moth down as they both get their third crystal of the match.
Yeah, I definitely. One subtle thing, if you were watching on Timp's side, when you're using hammer strats on Moth, that Timp did is you always want to stay above or to the side, because the hammer hitbox going upwards is really screwy and really surprisingly small. You have a lot more leeway if you're above or to the side of him.
Yeah, if we still have, well, whenever we get to pod, you'll see our runners more than likely have their sword out as they are fighting Helmasaur. That is to extend that hammer hitbox when we get there.
And I like Tim's strategy of just pulling out Fire Rod there. That's to handle those Gibdos. That was a lot easier than the dodging he was trying to do before. Meanwhile, DJ going to show us some of our Village of Outcasts checks here while Tim goes and picks up goes through a lot of front of Skull Woods to pick up what I believe was just a like 20 rupees or some kind of garbage.
Yeah, there hasn't been much progression like in quick succession here. As Darkwing's getting just a quick map check just to make sure that Thieves Town is indeed a crystal. But yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of quick progression here.
And that continues. The Village of Outcasts checks pretty much all garbage. Thieves Town is full clearable, and with Blue Mail and the blind script, should be able to handle this, I believe.
Yeah, the only thing that might be concerning is that shorter fighter sword. Oh, never mind. There's a blue cane. That's going to help a lot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, short of getting the script perfectly, Blue Cane is probably the best item you can have against Blind, because it damages him and protects you, and with half magic, it lasts long enough that you can pretty much get all 3 phases with it.
And fun fact, you don't even have to swing. You can just walk with Blind and still damage them.
That said, Tim needs to be a little careful for the rest of these checks here in the village. You definitely do not want to take an overworld death here.
As I believe we got 1 item in the front of Thieves Town, and that was it 1 or 2? No, we got Fire Shield. We got this. Got Fire Shield in here. Someone in chat making the joke that can pod have progression since it's a crystal, because we all know pendant pod holds progression.
Yep. The one thing that is worth noting that assuming you can make it through the Hellway, there's a bunch of hearts in the basement, so even though Timp's on low health now, if he can survive for a little while longer in this dungeon, he should be okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Timp's already used that red potion.
He has.
He had to use it on Moth.
He has, whereas DJ still has it. Plus, like, 3 Bs or something crazy like that.
So, like I said, we did get 2 items, and there's possibly an item in the hammer check. If we don't find the key in the maiden cell, then we'll probably have to head to the big chest.
I would honestly consider dropping it, skipping it at this point. If you have to go back in, and please, Timp, be careful, man. All right, picking up the blind safety heart there. That's a little reassuring.
I think Timp is trying to get some hearts here. Ooh, and Big Chest has an item in it.
Yeah, but at least you got that key here, so you don't have to come back. You can just get it, do a slightly longer loop here. Oh yeah, cool Papa Bell pointing out correctly in chat that the key can't be on blind because there's something with the key locks where if you... I don't know why anyone would ever do this, even if you're playing casually, but if you know, it's your first rando seed, but if you go downstairs, you can actually spend that key first. So if the key's on blind, there's a way to soft lock yourself. DJ is doing a fantastic job of staying on scripts up until this last phase, but now he can just YOLO it or use his cane if he has to.
Cane? What need is there in that? And there's some boots. What are those?
And that's our 4th crystal. Meanwhile, Timp getting a bunch of hearts on the way, so that'll help him out a little bit there.
Yeah, this seed just got a little bit faster.
Yeah, fortunately for Timp, since he's in same dungeon, he'll get him pretty quickly here. One of the things about open mode is, you know, if you get boots way after your opponent, that can be game over right there, just because of how much it subtly makes every single thing you do quicker. Nothing on Stumpy.
And we are finally routing over to Hype Cave. Hopefully Hype Cave is hyped today. What do you think it's going to be?
Ice Rod. Which is technically progression in the sense that it's required, even though it doesn't really unlock anything. Do you have any guesses?
I'm going to say this is going to be a blue cave, and we'll see the blue boomerang, and we'll see boots. Not the flute.
Well, bombs are technically blue, and that second sword is kind of blue-ish in the right light.
And we got a mirror. Shield. So Darkwing looks like he is heading for the pyramid ledge. Now, will he route this south and go to Pod, or go ahead and check Catfish and come back?
I feel like at this point you should really be routing Pod. You can full clear it. It's a crystal. Decides to ignore commentators' advice and go to Catfish. Let's see if it pays off for him. It is worth noting, though, that I mentioned that, and I would guess there's a decent chance Timp makes the same thought I do. So if there's something here, that could be a huge advantage for DJ.
Yeah. This is an out of the way check. And I don't blame Darkwing for going this way. Just because it is such an out-of-the-way check, and you're already heading north anyway. And it's trash. Actually, he'll pick it up because he's got one more for a heart refill.
Yeah, I mean, if you've run all the way here and like waited for him to throw it, it doesn't really cost you a whole lot of time to pick it up, but he is clearly going to route to pod now. And if Timp decides to go straight to pod and doesn't go to catfish at some point, this could be a big advantage for Timp. We'll see what he decides to do. It is worth noting that one thing you should always be thinking about, just as a runner, is what can make this check easier, or is there anything I could find that would let me route in other stuff when I do this? And in this case, one thing that might be noticeable is if you find the mirror in pod, that would mean that going up to catfish, you can easily get potion shop on the way, and then you can also hook shot west and do King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge. So as we have a couple seconds here while things open up, just real quick, this is the ALTTPR League Season 3 between Skewed by 6 Cubed and the Longshots, and DJ Darkwing and Timp are our runners. My name is Arusta. Co-commentator today is Mocha Jones 10. Our tracker is 2D Tones, and also shout-outs to our restreamer Math Girl. The first game was performed earlier this week, I believe yesterday, and it was a very close race. I believe Spyweaver beat Tyler Salt by like very short time. Basically, a Ganon fall made the difference.
You hate to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, if you're joining us late, basically thus far, you see they're in the same dungeons, and basically they've been in the same dungeons the entire time.
Darkwing getting his spawn count up, I see.
Interesting. Timp is going to go straight to the back.
No, I don't disagree with this. And no, I disagree with it because there's Titans.
Well, once he comes out of here with only a handful of items, he will undoubtedly go to the front. But he does get the enough keys that he'll be able to check everything back here, except I believe he has not gotten the big chest. So if he wants to play that out, he'll be isolating that. Oh well, there he's got the big key, so he'll be able to check basically the entire back.
So the only way I could see Timp not paying for this play is if he gets Mirror back here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he has 0 keys, and it looks like he's setting up for a death warp, because he's going to need to go... I mean, even if he wanted to skip those chests, which I doubt he would, he doesn't actually have the keys to get to Helma.
Yeah, plus Titan Smiths are in the front, so he's gonna definitely want to come back. And there's a death warp. You know what, in retrospect, I'm going to take that back. I like Timp's play better. Only because the way it will only make sense if you do the maze first and then come through Harmless Hellway to get back. But still, that's going through the maze in and out just to get back to Harmless Hellway. So I kind of agree with Timp's play here.
Yeah, this is actually one of the times in Open where you would probably make a lot of sense to do the hammer jump, so you can basically do it backwards. But unfortunately, with the way the big key plays out, you have to get the big key from Harmless Hellway first, anyways. So, nah. Okay, good. Timp is going to go back and get those other 2 chests.
Yeah, he's got a key, a spare key, so that's definitely gonna push him this way. As Darkwing is heading for the bag now towards Helma.
Yeah, Darkwing is probably going to get there about 45 seconds to a minute before Timp did. And that wasn't as much a function of the routing as the fact he got in here a little earlier.
Yeah, not having mirror, I could see that routing working. What Timp did, I could see it working if they got in here at the same time, just a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and Timp unfortunately forgetting that when you start from the front, you don't actually have to hit that switch the first time. It's already set correctly for you. Oh, and that is not going to flip trigger the switch. Timp! Push it further to the right, buddy.
Oh, Master Sword Turtle Room. This is gonna be fun.
Fortunately, in the light, it's not that bad. That would be miserable if they didn't have a way to light the torch, or, you know, a lamp or a way to light the torch.
Fortunately, they do have both, but we have lamp, which trumps having to definitely fire that fire rat shot. So 17 hits on the helmet with the helmet with the hammer, and then 8 arrow shots into the crystal on Helmasaur.
Unless you're Timp, in which case you're doing four arrows, and then we'll see what he does after that.
And just some more bombs. Like, these bosses like dropping the bomb. As Darkwing gets his 5th crystal?
Yeah, at this point we need Mirror for Swamp Palace, and then that's it. I would honestly be going to Ice Palace here, since
I agree.
it's a clearable crystal. It always feels bad that you can't icebreaker it, but
these runners should know IPPJ.
I know they both do. It's just, it still feels bad because, you know, it is just so much slower. Especially if you're trying to full clear the dungeon, that you can't just, you know, go right to left and get almost everything except iced tea right along the way.
Now here's something to think about. If you find Mirror, do you just go mode the rest of the game? Because technically, if the big key is not on right side GT, you do not need Canis and Mario.
I probably do. I also, and we'll see what Timp's doing. Or I would at least, I mean, if you're already in Ice Palace, I might skip like Ice Tea, but I would do the easy checks. And then probably the same thing for Swamp. I would do all the ones that are obvious, but I wouldn't do any overworld checks or anything like that.
Timp finding another fetch quest. That's the shovel in Bonk Rocks. Looks like he's doing all his boots checks, and probably would head towards the witch's hut to see if she has an odd or what that mushroom turn-in is.
Yeah. And that could be interesting if, you know, we've had mirrors basically available for, when do we get that mushroom? Like 5 minutes in?
Yeah, the mushroom was at the dam.
If I was Timp, I would also probably quick swap over to my bugs and release some of those bugs on the way, because 1,200 rupees is far more than you'll ever need.
And the best boomerang in the game, the blue boomerang.
DJ having a bit of trouble with his Ice Palace bomb jump here.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite low enough on that setup. That should be good. Oh, nope. Darkwing probably better drink that red potion here after this, or get this heart here. As Timp is turning in his shovel, let's see what it has. More bombs.
So fetch quests, both garbage. And picking up those hearts, I would guess he's probably going to Ice Palace here.
And I personally do not blame him. Like, this seems to be the play right now.
I agree with it, because it's, you know, a clearable crystal. I will say, however, that in doing those two overworld checks first, DJ is going to basically be about halfway through Ice Palace, maybe more depending on how you want to count half versus full, by the time Timp even walks in.
And there's another sword. That's pretty nice right there. So, we're not doing Fighter Sword Cold Stare today.
Absolutely. Nor do we have to do Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
Our runners are probably breathing a sigh of relief right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, even for runners who are, top tier runners who have no issues with Master Sword Ganon, it's just so much faster to have Tempered.
And it looks like Darkwing. Nope, he's going to. Let's go hit the Ice Tea. Yeah, he's heading.
Yeah, I have not been counting items. I know they got the sword, but I haven't seen if they've gotten anything else.
I'm not quite sure. It looks like Timp's getting ready to set up for his IPBJ. Now, one of the, I think, more trickier bomb jumps here, even though you just have to essentially line... Ooh, there's a cane! Line yourself up in the corner there, if I'm not mistaken, then drop your bomb and let it blast you over.
Absolutely. Okay, and with silvers and the red cane at this point, I'm Gomo. Like, you still have to find mirror, but the instant you find mirror with silvers, tempered, and red cane to make sure you can get through GT, I'm go moding the instant I get mirror, not checking anything.
So I want to say that might have been our last item.
Yeah, that was the third item.
T-Rock.
And at this point, even if you don't necessarily want to go all the way through Turtle Rock, or we might not be able to because of medallions, there's all the items in Hookshot Cave. There's 2 in Super Bunny. I would definitely at least go to the mountain here if I'm DJ.
I was going to say, if that was 5-6, we have 5-6, but it's Swamp that's the other 5-6 crystal. And it looks like Darkwing is doing the checks that Timp just did. So all that the time that Timp just did is gonna be negated here.
Yeah, that's big for Timp, because especially in a race where they've sort of been paralleling each other's moves like this, the fact that he can get this time back by DJ doing these same checks is huge.
Yeah. Personally, the more ditch checks probably would have been better, but we've like we said earlier when Timp went through this, we've had that mushroom for quite a while, and so I don't blame Darkwing for going here just because of how long we've had that mushroom, and he is letting go of these.
Yeah, and that actually might be one of the reasons why Timp did this first, was just to make sure he could get potions before Ice Palace, because Cold Stare, Fire Rod and Half Magic makes it nicer, but Cold Stare can be pretty mean. So right now we've effectively got a tied race, and it's just who finds the mirror first. Starting at Sank there, DJ is almost certainly going to check Bonk Rocks, and then once he finds the shovel, there's a good chance he tries to pay that out. So
and I do believe that Darkwing did just save scum that mushroom, so we could see fake powder here actually. And we are going up the mountain with both runners. Ooh, where are we gonna find up the mountain?
So here's the real question. Let's say Mir isn't in, any of the obvious overworld checks here. Do you, and you can get into TR, do you do TR, and if so, how far do you push it?
I would say I would just go ahead and go on up. Now, one thing I noticed, I like Darkwing's routing of this better, just cause we can go ahead, open up the portal on top of T-Rock, and if it's something that, if the medallion is Quake, we can go ahead and get in.
I agree. I think that, especially if they'd had Mir, it wouldn't matter, but I definitely agree with Darkwing's strategy here.
Is Darkwing heading to the Spike Cave?
He selected the book. Maybe Darkwing didn't check the book the first time he was here, which we know is just couch cash. So that's not the answer. Also, with Timp falling in the hole there, you actually can do the hook shot over to that second skull, but it's quite precise. Hook shotting from the bottom ledge to that second skull. It's pretty precise to not fall in the hole. And unfortunately, well, Timp's going to check Spike Cave, but this is also where, depending on what this medallion is, where Timp's routing might hurt him, because Darkwing once he finds all these checks are useless, may be able to do Turtle Rock.
And it's Ether, so we are not getting a side T-Rock today. Right now, at least.
Yeah, Timp bailed out by... Use the cane. Come on. You have plenty of magic. Don't be a hero, man.
So now begs the question, is T-Rock actually the right... Or is Spot Cave it's not the right play?
I'm trying to think what's even available, because they've cleared all the dungeons they can do.
We do have the Smith Chain, we have Hammer Pegs, and we have the Sage Scum Mushroom for Magic Bat.
Yeah, which Darkwing can do, but Timp can't. Yeah, basically those new myths checks.
And we are having our runners once again cross each other's routes. And let's see what is in Hammer Pegs. We have money.
Which at this point is not even worth the few steps to go and pick up, because with 1,200 rupees already having potions, there's nothing they can spend that money on. Yeah, and this gets to be the fun Smith Chain for Timp, because no mirror, no flute.
Yeah, and Darkwing's still in the front of Escape.
I mean, I think in his position, that makes plenty of sense. We unfortunately know it's not going to pay out for him, or fortunately, depending on who you're rooting for. But, you know, he's getting 3 items here. It's a lot quicker than trying to do the Smith Chain that Timp's doing.
Yeah, I just hope that Darkwing remembers that he's already got the key, or gotten the key, since I believe the map is in Zelda's cell. So if he gets one item, or gets one more item, I hope he remembers that and saves and quits.
Yeah, so he can save the walk through those couple staircases and the quote-unquote boss. So the interesting thing here is this might be Timp's last logical check. So he's going to find something here, even if the long-term answer is the fake powder, since that's a glitch that's not in logic. He's going to find something here that'll lead him somewhere.
And Darkwing, not remembering that he already got the map, or he already got the key, sees that there is no map in heading to Zelda's cell.
And to answer a question in chat, no, there is no item in right side Desert Palace. There was Moon Pearl in the big chest, and then there was rupees or some sort of garbage on Landmos.
I want to say it was bombs. I'm not sure. It might have been money.
Whatever it was, I just remember it was trash. This is an interesting thing. This is the interesting thing about Mirror Go mode, is not having Mirror locks off a surprising number of checks.
And there is Mirror on Smith Chain, so at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 30-something seconds we are in Go mode.
Yeah, and so Timp is going to have probably about maybe a 2 to 3 minute edge on Dark. Because Darkwing is definitely going to do hammer pegs, as you see he's doing. He has to do the full Smith chain. And since he bothered to save Scum that mushroom, he's also going to at least check that, I assume.
It is the worst to find that mirror on that super long Smith chain. That is not a fun feeling.
And Tim showing the dash out of that area. That dash from the Switch is always super swag. It only saves like a couple seconds, but it's basically free and it just feels so nice.
So it is always nice to be able to go mode swamp. Because you don't have to open any chests along the way, just get your small keys and go, and you have a Candace and Maria, so you can dive her down. It's going to be so quick here.
Yeah, I mean, and at this point with tempered, silvers, and blue mail, and half magic, and you already know where all the bottles are, I mean, there's not even much of a point in checking like the super fast chest like the diver down chest or the waterfall chest, because outside of maybe some hearts, there's not even any safeties you're looking for.
Darkwing had to get his purple chest and get his mirror, and then he shall be in go mode. Oh, Timp doing the bomber down. I like this strat because, especially if you're low on magic, you have bombs. You just go.
And that was a very nice diver down room. 2 full heart containers. Very nice for Timp. So he's now at 11 hearts plus blue mail.
The only thing that would have made that better if one of those was sank heart. But very nice room.
And at 1:16:07, Darkwing is in go mode, so difference there of about, I mean, basically a full Swamp Palace, because Timp's going to finish it before Darkwing enters. Difference is about 3 minutes, or 2:45.
Surprise, not using the silver arrows, but 2 tempered short spins, and I believe we have a little game we like to play.
Yeah, if our tracker or someone could start it in chat, let's see. Okay, and I apparently do not have the... Oh, there we go. If you got yours in before Saha Bot, just retype it.
After the delay. But would you like to tell us about what this game is?
So basically, there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the big key can be. Whoever guesses closest to where it is gets a place on the leaderboard and internet cool points, and we'll shout you out. Do you have a favorite guess you like to do?
Well, normally I do 6, but since the bot took its good old sweet time to put it up, I went with 13 today.
Sorry for stealing your guess from you.
So we will take guesses until Timp enters Ganon's tower, at which point we will start guessing at what we will start counting the number of checks that he makes.
Yeah, and I believe Timp and I have talked about this before, and I know he's sort of changes his route a lot in terms of what he likes to do in GT, but since he probably feels pretty good about this seeds, entering Ganon's tower at less than 120 is just a fantastic seed. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do the standard hope room to left, just the kind of route that you think your opponent would probably do.
Yeah. Now, I know that Darkwing usually tries. He's been switching it up a lot. I know he's tried to do DM a little bit more, but Hope Room, if you get a key go right, is probably standard right now. Okay, we are starting our count. And Chuck in Hope Room, so we're heading left.
And if you're a DJ fan, which I, being a member of the Longshots, are not right now, great guy, but got to root for my teammate here. The fact that there's no key in Hope Room is actually probably bad, because that means both runners are going to have the exact same GT route. So he's a little behind here, and he's not going to get a chance to catch up by GT routing.
By the way, say Bob the Bob, we had to get, or we got the small key off of Bob's short, so bye Bob.
And if you're counting at home, that was chest number 7 in that route. So if you guessed any number lower than 7 or lower, you're already out. Sorry.
Makes me feel good for the bot not taking my 6 right now.
Yeah, your 13 is, I believe, Rando Room under this routing, and that's always a pretty decent one to guess.
Yeah, I believe it is, as Darkwing is starting to make his ascent up to Ganon's tower.
Timp might need to be a little careful here. He's on 3.5 hearts. This is absolutely not the place you want a death.
No, it's not. I believe we're heading into 10 through 13 here.
So that is number 11, and Timp's going to check these last 2 chests, which makes sense since you're right there. So the correct number is 11, which... Shoutouts to JohnBoy81918, who guessed 11, exactly correct, and scored 11 points. Congratulations. Nicely done.
If Timp would have gone the... If Timp would have gone the clockwise route, that would have been 13.
Yeah, that's true. Which, I mean, I really don't think it makes a difference, but I will say I always go clockwise, so... And Timp, I would guess at 2.5 hearts here, is almost certainly going to do the refill room. Well, we'll see if DJ does, because by the time DJ gets his key, he might still be in decent position. Oh, wow, and Timp's skipping out on the refill. I mean, with the amount of safeties you have with Blue Mail plus the amount of hearts, I can definitely see just burning a potion there, because I think he still has at least 1 or 2 more potions.
And we have Timp heading to Lamos 2. As Darkwing is heading to retrieve his big key.
Which it looks like he's going to play this out rather than doing the mirror out dark magician, pink magician, whatever you want to call it, strats, which is very good for him. If he'd done that, that would have been probably enough of a thing that he wouldn't be able to get back from. Timp is still clearly ahead, but it's within the range of, you know, some Ganon issues or something, so.
I mean, at this point, it's 1 or 2 Ganon falls for this to be a pretty close race again. For the pendulum to swing the other way. Both runners go the counterclockwise route.
Yeah, and Timp entering with 2 keys can just go ahead and doesn't even need to kill the helmet.
You know, pick up this this pot with the potion in it here. So we got full magic. Should want to switch over to quick shot maybe before the explosions. Not even checking the chest. Brave man.
To be fair, at this point, it could basically be red mail or butter sword, which are both nice to have, but not, you know, you're probably feeling pretty good about your equipment settings already.
And it's time for some agonometry here. Marisa, how good are you at agonometry?
Not as good as I should be.
And as Timp gets a good double right there.
And that is 6 for Timp. It is worth noting, though, he will be entering at 4.5 hearts. We'll see. He might end up deciding to go with the boots, go down and do that free fairy refill. We'll see what he ends up doing here. Because at this level of health, I believe you can take 1 Ganon hug or hit, but not 2.
I wonder what Timp's potion situation is as he go ahead and drops in.
I know he has 1, but I don't know if he has more than that.
As Darkwing is switching to spin strats here. He does have a blue potion. Timp does. And that should push Ganon into... Nope. A couple more slashes, it looks like, for Ganon to be in phase 3. Thanks, Oro, for that info. Ganon hugs are 6 hearts on blue mail. I feel like they are. I think on red they're 3. I saw that Ganon hugs hurt. as Timp is already putting those arrow shots into Ganon.
Nice double there. And Ganon is exploding, so looks like we should be finished in just a sec. Get your GGs in chat. Meanwhile, just seeing a bunch of slashes there from DJ. I wonder if he just saw a dot done in the race, and now he's standing still. I'm pretty sure he just saw a dot done in the race room. We are going to go ahead and see if we can bring them in for an interview. At least Timp, and then DJ should be here pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, Timp gets an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 52 seconds as Darkwing's heading into his agonometry fight. Yes, we should be getting Timp here in just a minute, but let's see DJ's Ganon fight here. Pulling out the blue cane there, which I like as a strategy. If you have Master Sword, you can't do it because it won't let you charge up a spin. But if you've got Tempered and can just spam the weapon, it's very nice. It does cost you magic, but with half magic, he's probably not too worried about that. It also costs you lag. Yeah, I was going to say the only downside to this is lag. And Darkwing with Ganon on phase 3 here. Got those silver arrows ready to just start piercing the pig.
Taking a fire bat, but should be okay. Especially with silvers, only needs to hit him. Nice double there. And there you go. Get your GGs in chat. We will pull these runners in for an interview. Welcome to Timp and DJ. GGs to you both.
Hey, thank you. GG, DJ.
Yeah, man, that was so close.
That was a close one. I am really pleased with the way I played. I guess I'll just start with that. I felt like my execution was a lot stronger than it's been lately, and just really happy it happened in an official league match on a restream. But yeah, that was a fun seed.
So I would love to ask you about like specific routing decisions or like why you did some stuff when you did. But you both did basically the exact same seed. You were in basically the same dungeons the entire time.
We wondered that after we finished. DJ was asking me some stuff. It was like, oh, you probably won because I did Hera and you didn't. I was like, well, no, I did Hera. And there were a few other ones where I was like, no, I did that too. So, yeah, that's interesting to hear. I guess it was sort of linear in that way.
Yeah, it really was a big linear seed. I had actually asked, said something in my team's Discord. And they told me, you skipped a couple of things that I did, like Catfish, and lots of pumping. It looks like that definitely put you ahead of me.
Oh yeah, I was pumping. I was pumping in places I don't normally pump because I was just like really thinking about like, okay, I need every ounce of speed I can get because I just to put this out there, DJ as a former mentee in the mentor tournament that wrapped up not too long ago. I've been keeping my eye on you as I do most of the mentees, and what you've been able to do since then has been quite impressive. So I was a little scared coming into this one. I thought for sure you would you would outplay me. So I'm just like super tickled that things went the way they did.
Wow, thank you. That actually means a lot. I had actually just said to my teammates as well, going up against somebody that's a host of one of the premier rando podcast and keeping it to just 3 minutes, like, I don't care that I lost. I mean, I do care that I lost, but I'm going to take that as a win. Like, and you can ask Mocha. I'm sure he brought it up during the game. Me and him are very close friends in real life.
Yeah.
I'm super hard on myself when it comes to this game and when I lose, and I'm so happy with how I did today, except for a few spots.
Awesome. I appreciate the kind words as well. I don't for hosting a podcast about this game. I'm usually not that good at it. So, I was just happy to come and hold my own today.
Now, I want the two of you to do one thing after we get done with this. I want y'all to go back and watch the VOD and watch y'all doing the Eastern Palace.
Oh, okay. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this one.
Yes, you should watch Eastern Palace. It is incredible. Just watch it. You'll see exactly what we're talking about when you open it up.
All right, I'm looking forward to that.
I guess the only thing that came up is you both did the same route, but the only place where really your routing could have even diverged at all was when you first got mitts. You both entered Village of Outcasts and did Skull Woods down to Thieves Town, and then circling around to the south. We were having some discussions in chat and then on comms about, whether you start that way or do the, enter at Hype Cave and do Hype to Pod. What were your thoughts? You both did the same thing. So DJ, I'll start with you, and then Timp, you can chime in afterwards. What were your thoughts on that particular decision?
Considering that I had Hammer and the Fire Rod, and I can go ahead and full clear 2 dungeons and just pray to the RNG gods that both of them were crystals, I thought it was best to go up that way, and then plus having the hammer, having everything I can as well to just go do pod right after that, meant that I could just easily catch everything on the way down. If I did happen to get the mitts, then okay, I'll go ahead and do Smith along the way, and then just pop up and go do pod.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me. One other thing that factored into going that way was I had Skull Woods on the brain after getting the Fire Rod, relatively early and having the sword, and I pretty much, as soon as I can get to Dark World, if I can do Skull Woods, or if it makes sense to dip it, like if it's a pendant, I usually try to knock that out early. And then, it has the added benefit of you don't have to worry about getting, stuck because you don't have mitts and getting up to Village of Outcasts. You can just do that whole thing in a crescent around the Dark World, culminating in pod, which is exactly what happened. There was a good, 10 minutes where I was like, okay, I know everything I'm about to do right now, and there's really not much I can think of I could get that would put me off of this path. So I'm just going to focus on execution and trying to do this as well as I can. And, once I get to the end of this, I'll try to figure out what's next.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could have taken us off that was finding the mirror, because then we could have just done swamp. But even still, then
true. Yeah.
We're going to hit swamp and then go straight to pod.
Yeah. That did occur to me. That was okay, if I get mirror, obviously it'll be nice to dip into swamp. But if not, then there's still plenty of stuff to do.
Speaking of mirror, what did y'all think?
The only trolly part of this seed.
Yeah, pretty much. I was terrified that it was going to end up being in Turtle Rock, because one thing that I did sort of regret in this seed is I forgot to go check what medallion Turtle Rock was. And I was like, okay, if that was Quake, then I could get in there, because I also just found the cane not too long ago, and that would be a very rando thing to do, to put the mirror on Laser Bridge in a seed like this. So I was sort of sweating it as I was doing the Smith chain. I was like, oh boy, this is triage at this point. Hopefully I get what I'm looking for and I can feel good about things, and that is what happened. But yeah, I was afraid that if I lost, it would be because DJ checked out TR and got a mirror in there.
I actually can't. One of your commentators, who may also be your league teammate, did call you out on that.
Well, I'm glad one of us is paying attention.
I did actually breathe a sigh of relief, because I went up there. Dark Death Mountain was one of my later checks, because I just focused on dungeons and all that. So my options were at that point Dark Death Mountain, Front of Escape, which I just put off forever because I didn't have a reason to go there just yet, and Smith Chain. So I decided to go up there, and my first thought was, oh god, TR is going to be Quake, and then there's going to be nothing in there, and Tim's going to skip it, and then I just blew everything. I was so happy that it wasn't.
Yeah, so it wasn't even. It was, what was it, like Ether or Bomb?
Yeah, it was Ether.
Okay.
Which we never even found.
Yeah, I don't know where that was. Probably back at GT or something like that. Maybe Pyramid. That was another.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, like I said, I felt good about the execution. I didn't take any deaths except for death warps, and even those I felt like I set up pretty well. Yeah, I don't mean to like brag on myself here, but I feel like DJ said, I beat myself up a lot too. So I'm just happy that there was one that I can feel pretty good about, And DJ definitely should too.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this race. As somebody said in chat, Cool Papa Bell said, you can't feel bad about losing a seed and still running a 131.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, GG's again. Looking forward to maybe seeing you again in brackets or something like that.
We got a long way to go, but I do hope we get there. So GG, and shout outs to you guys. You're an awesome team.
Yeah. Okay. So is there? Just as we wrap this up, is there what are you guys thinking about the league so far? Is there any weeks in the future you're particularly looking forward to? Tim, if you want to start, and then DJ, you can follow up after that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. I like good casual boots. Actually, that was one thing I meant to mention here in this interview, is how weird it was to not have boots for so long. I've become really used to boot starts, seeds on the ladder and stuff like that. So there are definitely a few times where you can see me stop and I'm tapping the A button and going oh, I don't have those yet. So yeah, casual boots, kind of return to form for running around with the boots, and that's the one I'm really looking forward to. Everything else I feel like I'm enduring and trying really hard to not let you and Tyler Salt down. Yeah, that's the one for me.
For me, this is something that's really cool. Is my division is just packed with people I'm friends with or people that I play Among Us with. Next week I play Leoria, Kazdin, and Windfox. The week after that, Amerithan Oro. The week after that, Ben Creighton. I don't know Ben Creighton, but he has this awesome Darkwing Duck emote that I need to go sub to him for. He's also teammates with Worldwide Wimpy, who was one of my mentors in the tournament. I don't know Boomer Friendly, but looking forward to playing them. And then, in week 7, Tabby Cat Jetters and Scruff Ninja Tuna. I'm friends with some of them and play Among Us with the rest of them. So it's just every week there's something really awesome going on, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we have a great division.
Well, any last words for y'all before we get out of here?
GG's, and we'll see you in the Discords.
My only final thought is a big thank you again to Timp, because if it wasn't for the mentor tournament, I would not be doing League and some of the other tournaments I'm doing and Ladder, and it's been a blast. And thank you to Mocha for roping me into that as well. It's definitely been good for me, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. Our pleasure. I guess the very last thing I'll say is listen to Go Mode Podcast.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you very much, both of you, for an interview. Like I said, it was a fantastic race to watch. You guys were very close the entire time, very back and forth, to the point that we were even saying, oh man, Timp did one extra overworld check here before pod, or things like that. And it's that made a difference into who finished pod first, things like that. So very entertaining race. Really appreciated commenting for both of you. For those of you out there, randomizer fans, let's just take a quick look at the schedule. We have another open mode going on right now between Jetters of Hyrule Track and Field and Spoiled Leftovers, represented by Dazed Cloud, on ALTTPR League 2. Oh, thank you very much. It is now on stream. Awesome. So that is started at 8:40. We're going to raid there immediately afterwards. Race is probably about halfway over, but still has a long way to go. There is also a later at 10 o'clock p.m. They're on Speed Gaming Prime, Speed Gaming 1. There is the Bomb Squad and Komodo Hypers, Fred Coughlin and Kyong, starting at 10:10 p.m. for the Invitational League. And that'll be it for tonight. So we'll raid Link to the Past Randomizer League 2 channel, and thank you very much.
Night, everybody.
Night, peeps.